Hello and welcome to this O&GR Modurol video, Nissan Leaf gear reduction oil and how to change it. This is video L004 in our series of Nissan Leaf how-to videos, and this video is going to show you everything you need to know about Nissan Leaf reduction oil and how to change it. In order to do this very basic service item, you're going to need some basic tools and obviously some new oil, a bowl to collect the old oil, some new seals to seal up the drain plugs. You have to renew them each time. A 10mm socket, a 10mm Allen or hex socket, a ratchet, a small screwdriver, and a method of putting the new fluid back in. In my case, I used a little hand pump, a fluid pump from Draper. In order to do this exercise, you also have to lift the car up level. In order to do that, I used the method of lifting of axle stands and wheel support blocks. In order to get the car up there, I used my low access 3-ton trolley jack. I'm going to split this video into 5 sections. First, talk about the Nissan procedure and the specifications. Secondly, how I actually did it. Third, the problems and tips. If you're going to try and do it yourself, have a look at that section if nothing else. Fourth, a little bit of a look at the efficiency gain of changing the oil. And finally, what my next job's going to be. If you're interested in this video, you're going to maybe be interested in our channel, O&GR Modurol. We've got lots of Nissan Leaf videos and also Jaguar XK8 videos on there. Please take a look. And if you like the video, please press the thumbs up. It does make a real difference. Okay, so back to the video. The first section, the basic procedure of reduction gear oil changing. Now, with all my videos, I like to use the pucker procedure, and in this case, the Nissan service manual. You can get a copy of this. It's a massive document off our website, www.modurol.co.uk, and it's in the bottom section there, Nissan Leaf documents. Free copy for you there. Now, inside the Nissan Leaf Model ZE0 series workshop manual, there's a section called MA15, periodic maintenance. It's page 4959 of the document. That's how big this document is, and it talks about the periodic maintenance. In there you can see gear reduction is listed, and gear reduction oil has to be inspected in theory every 12,000 miles or 20,000 kilometers. I noticed in that maintenance procedure right up to 48,000 miles, nowhere does it say replace or renew the fluid. It does actually say you have to renew the brake fluid twice, but not actually the gear reduction oil, which I find a little bit backwards, to be honest. But this is the pucker information from Nissan. Also in the manual, it talks about the recommended lubricants. This is page 4961. And in there, MA-17 and 18, the gear reduction oil spec, OEM spec, is listed there as genuine Nissan Matic S ATF. The volume you need is 1.41 litres. The next document you're interested in is actually the gear reduction oil procedure page. That's page 1067. And in there it talks about how to inspect it, how to actually drain it. It's just basically taking plugs out, to be honest, and refilling. Very basic procedure. In the case of refilling, you just refill it until the fluid dribbles out, which is quite normal with a lot of these gearboxes, etc., which don't have dipsticks. But again, it's critical that you have the car level for this to work properly. Finally, the last Nissan document you're probably going to be interested in is the reduction gear exploded diagram. This is page 1075 of the manual, and in there it shows the reduction gearbox and also the drain plugs and their washers, and it gives the torque setting for those refitting the drain plugs, and that is 34.5 Newton meters. Okay. That's the Nissan official procedure and documents, just for your information. Section 2, then, how did I actually do it myself? So first of all, I use the standard jacking points. There's nothing fancy about this particular electric car. Obviously, you don't want to jack anywhere near the battery, but the sills are way away from that. So just jack it up as a normal car. So I jacked up the front and supported the front wheels with my wooden blocks. And this is enough to access the reduction gear box itself. I jacked up a rear car centrally using a central rear member or the torsion bar. I lifted the rear in a single lift. It's a little bit easier to get that up in the air. And I supported the rear member with axle stands. And you can see the sill jacking point there with a little cutout. So I could have used the axle stands there, but it was a little bit higher. Then once you got it up in the air, you get access to the lower cover, or what would be the engine cover. And just showing you the bolt positions here, there are 6 M6 bolts. There's 5 across the front, as you see there with the yellow circles, and there's 1 right at the rear. There's also some plastic clips, and those are the central are positioned centrally on this lower cover, and there's actually 6 of those as detailed. So you need to remove the M6 bolts first with your 10mm socket. Now you're likely to break lots of them. The captive nuts, or the spring nuts at the back, they get rusted with the bolt and they just shear off all the plastic in your undercover and your bumper. So it really was a mess. I mean, what you've got the problem with these Nissan Leafs, because there isn't much maintenance on them. These lower engine covers don't come off very often and things just rust up. You can actually remove the plastic clips then. You pull out the center of those plastic clips, 4 or 5mm, and pull the whole thing out as an assembly. You don't have to remove the center pin altogether. Again, these plastic clips are very fragile. They break very easily. But you can buy the diameter 8mm clips. The Nissan part number is 01553093321, and that's the Nissan part number. Just stick that in eBay or at Amazon and they'll pop up. It's 8mm plastic clips. So I collected all the bolts together. I like to have them all in one place because I don't want to have to search for them when I'm putting everything back together. And I now place the ball in a position under the car, directly underneath the reduction gear box. And you can see clearly the access to the drain plugs there. And just in detail, so you got the upper fill plug, it's obviously the higher one, and the lower drain plug is the lowest point on that casting there, and it's forward in the vehicle. And it's really easy to see and access those drain plugs. There's no need to take the wheel arch liner out of the wheel off or anything like that. There's loads of space in there. You basically then loosen and remove the upper filler plug first, just in case you can't get it off. I mean, this is where your 10mm Allen or hex socket comes in handy, and they weren't particularly tight in my case. They weren't difficult to get off, to be honest. It's not something to be frightened of. Then you need to remove the lower drain plug, and then the oil will drain out. And you catch the oil in the bowl, hopefully. I'll come into that in a moment with my tips. My magnetic drain plugs like this, both the filler and the drain plug have a large magnetic portion that goes inside the oil, and they had lots of metal pieces sticking out of them. My car at this point had done 55,000 miles, so definitely a bit of wear, but these magnetic plugs were doing their job and catching the metal fragments, so well worth changing and rubbing that off. And I basically wiped off the metal and the oil with a clean towel. Even the oil was getting a little bit sort of bit like grease on these filler plugs. Then I used a new bonded seal. I used to work for Doughty bonded seals one time, so I have an affection for these seals, and I used some of those. I'll go into the sizes of those shortly in the hints and tips. I then filled the pump with my new gear oil. I actually use Redline D6 ATF as recommended by lots of people on forums, etc., including Dala. Thank you, Dala, for all your videos, just to mention for him. And he'd use some Redline. Oh, I've got to use that. Dala's using it. Anyway, And what I would like to show here is you can see the colour of the new oil. Okay, it's red line oil, it's not Nissan oil, and the old oil. The old oil looked quite burned. It wasn't a natural ATF colour. Normally the ATF colours I've used before when I've done gearbox changes, not on electric cars, have been sort of a straw colour. This was definitely dark brown and nothing like the red line colour. So then I refitted the lower drain plug with the new bonded seal, torqued it up to 34.5 Newton meters. Then I filled up the new gear oil with my pump. It's very awkward under there. There's not a lot of access, but it can be done. And then refitted the upper fill plug with the new seal to 34.5 Newton meters. And then refitted the lower cover. And then I'll go through, that was the basic procedure, but there was lots of problems. So here's the problems I had and the tips and basically, or my mistakes. First of all, start on level ground. My driveway isn't level. I wish I took the Jag out of the garage, to be honest, and put it in there because it would have saved me lots of time. I spent ages trying to level the car up because it's very critical the car is level, so it drains all the oil out, plus you get the level correct. So yeah, you need to have a level surface to do this. So that was my first mistake. Secondly, the bowl position. My bowl wasn't in the right. I know it sounds very schoolboyish, but don't put the bowl directly underneath the drain plug like me, and then take the plug out, because I was very surprised. There's only 1.4 litres of oil in there, but boy, does it come out fast, and it comes out far. It comes out a long way. And there's a big panic. It nearly hit me in the face. I got a bit of oil on the drive. But tip number 2, put the bowl further to the right, as you see here, because that oil will come out really fast. Tip 3 then, the plastic clips. Oh, they break and they're rubbish. Well, my car is 8 years old, so I don't know what I expect. So get spare clips. They're not very expensive. They're pence. As I say, the part numbers there, 0155309 They're commonly available on eBay for pennies. Get some before you start, because you're going to break them. Tip number 4 then, replacement clips for bolts. As I said before, the spring nuts that the bolts bolt into, they rust onto the bolt. When you try and turn the bolt, the spring clips rips all the plastic out from the mounting point. So it's you need to. I found some clips that would substitute for the bolts and the spring nuts. Now I actually use these replacement clips, which are actually 10mm diameter, in substitution for the 6mm bolts. I know it sounds a bit daft, but I'll show you how I actually fitted them. And the part number for those, again, it's a Nissan part. It's 0155309 and they fitted something like this. So forget the spring clip and the bolt has gone by this time. You can actually get it to locate inside the plastic bumper. Now, normally the spring clip actually doesn't locate in the plastic bumper, but in the plastic trim behind it. So, and this seemed to work really well. Obviously, it's very difficult to access where the spring clip would be, and obviously it's ripped all the plastic away. But recommended to use the 10mm Nissan clips. Tip number 5 then, the seal size. Basically, these filler plugs are M18, so you're going to need something suitable for M18. I used an M18 size bonded seal. But for your information, the external diameter of the thread is roughly 17.2mm. The external diameter of the actual filler plug itself is 25.8, and the height, just for reference, is 40mm. Section 4 then, what was this great efficiency gain I got? Well, unfortunately, I didn't see any noticeable increase in the range or efficiency. It wasn't, I think we're looking at 0.1% potentially, if any at all. It is autumn now in the UK and temperatures are dropping, so I think my efficiency is going the other way. But I didn't see, it wasn't like night and day. It's very, very minor. What I would say is, with all those little metal fragments in there, I'm glad they're out of it, and I'm glad I got fresh oil. And I think I'll be changing mine a little bit more frequent than 50,000 miles. Okay, so what's my next job? While it was up in the air, I did notice that the back wheels, the handbrake or the parking brake wasn't working quite right, so they need some TLC. I'm going to have a look at those. The left-hand side or the near side was quite good. The offside was quite loose, to be honest. So it probably needs the disc taken off and the shoes cleaning off and resetting. Okay, so that's it for this video. I've got some plans for more videos. The parking brake, I said, car wings, how to set that up as a second owner, leaf spy, fitting a spare wheel, some little light aero mods and LED light bulbs. If you enjoyed this video and you find it really useful, please press the thumbs up. It does make a difference. And please like, comment, share and subscribe if you'd like to see more XK8 and Nissan Leaf videos.